And there's no aspect, no facet, no moment of life that can't be improved with pizza. Thank you.
Okay, so I've already done my brows and my concealer. What I'm doing is bringing the concealer down, basically the top of the bridge of my nose and outwards towards here. And the reason why is because this whole area needs to be flesh toned, and I don't want any differences when I do the cut crease. Before I cut my crease, I'm actually going to prime my lid with my soft ochre paint pot. And the reason that I'm doing this is because I have oily eyelids, so if I lay down my concealer, even if I set it with the eyeshadow or the pigment, my eyelids get oily throughout the day and it'll slide off and crease. So I'm only using a little bit of this primer because, like I said, I'm just creating a barrier on my eyelid. And specifically, I'm going to put this on my inner corners where the folds of my eyes are. Then I'm just going to blend it out with my finger. So to go all over my eyelid to maintain that flesh tone, I'm going to take my Morphe 3502 palette, and I'm using this shade right here. It's called Universal, and I'm just going to pack this right on my crease and on the concealer that I used underneath my brow. And the reason why I'm doing this is because, like I said, I want to maintain that flesh tone through and through because I'm going to have a solid color on my eye. So I don't need any additional dimensions or anything like that. It also allows me to go ahead and put the eyeshadow right up in here. Using my Kat Von D Whiteout Concealer, I'm going to cut my crease. And I'm gonna do a pretty nice winged crease, if you will. And my brush that I'm using for this is the Morphe M170-8. And so I'm just gonna tap the concealer into both sides of the brush and flatten the brush as best as I can. I'm gonna do one eye at a time, and the reason why is because I feel like I have to be really, really quick about applying the pigment. And today's pigment is yellow, so here we go. I'm looking at the folds in my eye, and my last fold is right here, so that is where I'm going to be placing this concealer, pretty much just right above that. And I'm tilting my head back so I can see. You really want to take your time with this because otherwise you'll wind up getting a line that is not clean, and it is noticeable, okay, when the line isn't clean. And what I mean by clean is no rickety stuff. This is terrible. Okay, so I'm going to close my eyelid because see, the shape changes when I close my eye. And continue with that round shape. And then I'm coming back to check and make sure everything is even. And if you are a perfectionist like me, you can get into the magnified side of your mirror just to get closer. Once you've got the actual shape that you want established, you can go ahead and start creating your wing, and your wing can start and stop wherever you want it to. Me, I kind of just flick it up, and then I'll go backwards to make sure everything is connected. I'm really big on shape, so if something isn't right, I will definitely go back and fix it. And I suggest that anyone doing this should do the very same thing, because the last thing you want to do is your makeup and be totally dissatisfied with the way that it looks. Like this one is a little bit more square than I'd like. So I'm gonna fix it. There we go. Okay, so the cool thing about this concealer is it's white. So, and it's pretty pigmented. So once you do this, you can lay any pigment on top of it and get the look. So now I'm just going to take the rest of the concealer. And I don't need a lot of it, to be honest with you guys. But I do need it to be even. Otherwise, it can cause issues with the pigment. So I'm going to do this. And when you're filling this in, you do want to be careful because it's very easy to accidentally mess up all of that line work that you just did. So just spread the concealer as evenly as you can get it across your lid. Just like this. Make sure there's no gaps or anything. And don't worry about getting it out here because this is going to get cleaned up anyway. Now, the thing that I love about this concealer is that it almost sets itself, kinda. So it's perfect for using loose pigments because it doesn't stay sticky underneath the pigment and crease throughout the day, which is very important for me because I have oily lids. Okay, so now that we've got the concealer evenly distributed, and I know it looks like my eye is solid white, it is, but I don't have a ton of concealer on my eye. I just really want to emphasize that because I feel like a lot of the time when makeup lovers try new stuff, we have a tendency to just go ham, and you don't got to do that. Okay, so the pigment that I'm going to be using is from Sample Beauty, and this is what it looks like. It's a mustard yellow. That's what my sister described it as because these are her pigments. And I'm taking the same brush, which I cleaned it off with alcohol, and quickly, I'm hoping this pigment is as good as all the other ones were. I'm going to press it in just like that. This one might be a little bit more patchy than the other ones were. But I'm going to press it in right on top of the concealer. And I'm not dragging it. The reason why is because the concealer is sticky and it most certainly can get picked up by the brush, even though there's pigment on here. So I am just tapping it in. I'm not sweeping it. I'm not brushing it. And what that's going to do is press the pigment into the concealer and make it stick, plain and simple. And this is pretty much all I do to get this look, literally. And I do have to go in and get closer to the line, to the border of the concealer here. But this is it. This is how these looks have been getting created. And if you want the pigment to be even, you definitely want to take your time pressing it in. I'm kind of rushing because I have to go to work. But yeah, you want to take your time so you can make sure that everything is even. But yeah, it's just cut your crease, pack the pigment on. And you can do this with an eyeshadow, but it's going to take a lot longer because eyeshadows are pressed, so you can't pick up nearly as much as you can with a loose pigment. Like with a loose pigment, you can pick up a lot, like a lot. So I'm gonna come up in here. I kind of been wanting to try leaving some of the concealer out, like the white part. And I might do that today, we'll see. But yeah. This pigment is from, my sister said it's from the UK. So I believe you can order them online. Definitely, if you really want to try these. She said, I think she said they're like $8 a piece in US dollars. And you do want to be, I mean, you want to take your time, but you also want to be kind of quick, especially if you're using a concealer like mine. Mine is a little, like I said, it sets itself, so it's not going to have an even distribution when it comes to the way that the pigment looks if I don't move quickly. I kind of want to leave the white there. I feel like, nah, I'm gonna leave the white there, only because it's something I want to do. If you wanted to do a solid eye, you definitely would just come in a little bit closer to the line with the concealer brush, or with the pigment, the brush that you're using to apply the pigment, excuse me. And you want to be careful, like I said, not to wipe away the concealer as you are applying the pigment. I'm going to do the other side of my eye and I will be right back. Now I'm going to clean up the sides. And for that, I'm going to take a makeup wipe. Honestly, you could use a Q-tip or, you know, some makeup remover, but because this is a matte pigment, I honestly wouldn't suggest it. So I'm just going to try to pick up the yellow there, but anyway, I'm going to come along the sides and just go upwards like that. And the reason why I said, you know, you want to be careful about whatever you use to clean this up, because it's matte, is matte pigments naturally will absorb moisture. So if whatever you're using is going to linger on your face, then you might wind up messing up all the work you just did, which I can't tell you how to fix because I haven't messed mine up. So just be careful. That's all I can say. These are really pigmented. And try to make sure you get, you know, the clean line that you want. I'm going to take some concealer and just dot it right up under here on the sides. And using the same brush that I've been using, I'm going to basically clean up around the border first before I do my face makeup, to save me the trouble of getting too close and messing it up. And just blend that. Ooh, excuse me. Okay, so the next thing that I need to do is take a little bit more of the pigment on a tiny or a specific brush, and I'm going to press it in around those borders to just to basically maintain, you know, all of that work, because like I said, it'll absorb moisture. Okay, so now I'm going to do the rest of my face and I'll be right back. What I'm going to do is take a little bit more of my concealer, my Kat Von D Whiteout Concealer, and I'm going to use this on my lower lash line. And what I'm going to do is start in the center and kind of just brush it through on towards the end and over here. Now, to be honest with you, one of my eyes is super sensitive, so I don't normally like to put any eyeshadow into my tear duct area. Sometimes I do anyway, but keep that in mind when you're wearing loose pigments. If you have sensitive eyes, be careful because they're loose and they fly in the air and they will get in your eye. So, and what I'm going to do now is take some of the pigment while the concealer is still basically wet, and I'm going to press it into the concealer, not sweeping it, not dusting it. I'm pressing it in just like that. And when I pick it up, I am tapping off any excess because I don't want the loose pigment to get all over my gosh darn face, okay? And that's something else to keep in mind. Loose pigments will fall on your face. They will fall on your face. They will get on your cheeks and your lips. They will get everywhere. So just be mindful when you're applying them. I would definitely do my face last. Period. It takes time to learn this stuff, honestly. And practice and patience, most importantly. So I am going to put on my little rinky-dink eyelashes and some mascara and my beauty mark, and I'll be back. Oops, I almost forgot white eyeliner. Okay, so I'm going to take this white eyeliner. This is by Too Faced. I don't think they make this anymore. But anyway, I'm going to put this on my waterline. And I'm not tugging at my eye, by the way. I'm just pushing it. Okay, yeah. So I'm going to do everything I said I was going to do, and I'll be right back. Alright, so I'm going to put my beauty mark on. And I can't put on lipstick or gloss because I have a blister, but this is the final look. Eyelash glue is still drying. I hope that you guys enjoyed this tutorial and you learned something from it because everyone was asking me to do this. So thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Go ahead and hit the like button and share this video with your friends. And watch the next video because it's right here waiting for you. And you know you ain't got nothing else to do, so why not, you know, show some more love. Okay, bye.